Hey everyone, welcome to another Chit Chat with Mandi and Caryl. I'm Mandi, the board gaming pinup girl.
Hi guys, I'm Caryl, also known as Caryl Tan.
So today we're taking a look at the game Tack. Not tic-tac-toe, just tack.
Tic-tac.
So if you want to get to a specific spot in our video, we have timestamps listed for you below. So I think we're ready to get to the gameplay.
Tic-tac.
The goal of Tack is to build a road, which is a string of pieces that connects opposite sides of the board. The winning road has stipulations. It doesn't have to be straight, but diagonal spaces do not count as connected. Capstones can be standing and included in your row, but stones need to be flat. In the setup, each player should start with the correct amount of stones and capstones as per selected board size. The first player is determined randomly, however after that, you will take turns going first. On the first turn of the game, each player places one of their opponent's stones. You may place the stone in an empty space and it must be flat. There are two types of pieces in Tack: stones and capstones. Stones can be played in two ways, flat or standing. Flat stones usually are played flat as shown here. Flat stones can stack up and they can count as part of a road. Standing stones, so stones that can be placed upright. Nothing can be stacked on a standing stone, but standing stones don't count as part of your road. Capstones combine the best aspects of standing and flat stones. They do count as part of a road, but they can't have another piece stacked on top. In addition, a capstone by itself has the power to flatten a standing stone. On your turn, you may either place a piece in an empty space or move one of the stacks under your control. Place. You can place a flat stone, a standing stone, or your capstone in any empty space on the board. If you place your last piece, or if you fill the last space on the board, the game ends immediately. Move. You can move one or more pieces in a stack that you control. A stack of pieces can be any height, including just one piece. Control means that your piece is on top. To move the stack, take any number of pieces off the top up to the carry limit and move them in a straight line, dropping at least one piece off the bottom in each space along the way. When moving pieces, keep in mind the following. Insurmountable pieces or standing stones and capstones cannot be covered, which means that all spaces in your path must either be empty or contain flat stones. Flattening walls. A capstone can move onto a standing stone and flatten it. The capstone may be part of a larger stack that is making a longer move as long as the final step, crushing the wall, is done by the capstone alone. The game ends when a player has successfully built a road from one end of the board to the other. After several plays, the player that wins the most games is the winner. So now we're ready to give a review of Tack. So, what'd you think?
So, no, don't start.
I feel like it was like a...
Well, you could play on different size boards in Tack, first of all.
Right.
I liked it in certain size boards more than other certain size boards. So you could play in a 3x3 board, which is super confusing for me. I don't know why I can't wrap my head around it. Or you could play in the 6x6 and a 7x7 board. Or is it
9? I thought 9x9, but
we're just saying numbers.
No, there is a 9x9.
Are you sure it's 9? I thought it was 8.
Okay. There is 8.
Can we double check this?
What do you think I'm doing right now?
So.
Wow. Okay, you can just cut all that out. So now we're ready to give our review for Tack. What'd you think? Oh my gosh. I give a review of the game Tack. What'd you think?
So, I liked the game on certain size boards and not so much other size boards. 3x3 was something that was really hard for me to wrap my head around. I have no idea why. It was the smallest one. You think it'd be the simplest one. I didn't get it. But playing on the 5x5 and the 6x6 board, that was a lot of fun. Like I like the abstractness of the game. Like it gives that kind of feeling of almost like Connect 4 almost, but obviously with a lot more going on. I don't know if you had that feeling or not, but
a little bit. Like it would say it felt like that. Like, I mean, I liked the 3x3 board for whatever reason. It worked for me. Apparently, the 6x6, 5x5 did not work for me so well. That'll come with practice and time. But it was one of those games where like you felt like it should be chess because of like the wooden pieces. But yes, it felt like a Connect 4 with like bits, like extra things that you could do.
Yeah.
So before we get into it a little further, what did you think about the components and bits?
Well, I love that it's wooden blocks. Like it's actually wooden blocks. And I like the boards that they used, actually. Like, it's one side's like very plain and very easy to see, and the other one's very ornate, which I really like. Like, it just looks beautiful. Like, they're red on it with like I think they were gems. Like, it looks beautiful. And like, you don't expect much more than wooden pieces and a decent looking board, but like, yeah, it's nice.
Exactly. So, I mean, I liked it as well. I like the fact that you had options. You can play with the more, plain kind of wooden board or the ornate side of the board. And I also like the wooden pieces. For me, it was like, ooh, wooden pieces are nice. And it really, like, elevates the game. Well, you could have made it plastic, and then it really would have felt like checkers or something. Do you know what I mean? So, it was nice that they added the wooden pieces to it. It was a nice touch. So, for a simple game, I mean, I think you should, like, bling it out with components. And I think they did that here with that. So, yeah, I think components were very good. For sure.
And like they're easy to identify too. Like you can tell like which one is which. I mean, you can tell that like this is my wall and then this is my capstone. Like it's just very clear distinction. But
yeah, very distinct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like let's get to the gameplay. What do you think about it?
I liked it. I mean, I like abstract games for the most part. I liked it. I mean, for me, it was interesting. It's one of those games where, like, okay, like, you didn't play it and we're like, okay, I finished it, I won, it's done, I've never played again. It's one of those games where you play it, but you can play it at different levels and get better at it. I mean, I enjoyed it. And it's a two-player game, which, I mean, two-player games for me, I don't really play too often. But when I do, I want them to be thinky, and this was a little thinky. I liked it.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Well, no. Like, I like how it's a little Mancala-ish, where you can pick up like a stack of pieces and you can kind of drop them off and stuff, right?
Right.
I like how it combines that and almost like a Santorini feel with it too, where, you can like build a stack and you have to be aware of that and you're trying to move things around and kind of try and trap one person almost, and then also have your capstone in like the best possible place and then moving that around. Like there's a lot going on for such a abstract game that you don't really expect so much to be going on, but like there's a lot that you have to really account for, rather like instead of just look, you're about to in Connect 4 and by putting that there it's like, oh, I didn't see that. Like you could have moved your capstone here and then just completely knock down my wall or something, Yeah. I mean, I think we had to restart this a couple times when we played because there were a few things that we missed. Yeah. But I still think, I don't know, I liked it. I thought, I like the fact that it's kind of escalating in difficulty. Well, for me, because I found the 3x3 like easy and easier. But I think when you get to the bigger ones, it's supposed to be more of a challenge. It's one of those games you can't just play once. Okay, I win. You have to play it a few times, right? Because the first player, it is a bit of an advantage, and I think they even note that in the book, or in the rule book. So definitely is a game you have to at least have a few gameplays of to see who actually is the winner. But I mean, I think I like it. It's the type of game where you can elevate difficulty, and that's replayability, which is a good thing. So for me, I like it. So what did you think overall, though? What is your overall opinion? Overall, I like it. I'm not crazy about it. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, darn it, you won, time for a rematch. Like, I like that they bring note that first player advantage is actually kind of important and that you're meant to play it over a course of a few rounds.
Right.
But I don't like that that's a thing, that first player advantage is that helpful, that, for me to get back at you would be by playing another game where I'm first player instead. Right. Like, I can understand that first player really sets the tone and whatnot, but like, I don't know. I don't really like that. Like I like it. I like it.
Right.
I just didn't feel very compelled to, be like, let's play tag for an entire night where you can play back to back to back to back to back and like, have
Right.
all these different things happening. Like, all the variations that you get in the game is like the dynamic between you and the other person that you're playing with. And then
Right.
yeah, I mean it's very like chessy like that. But yeah.
So for me, I it's a game that I could play over again, and I like the fact like go from small big board to big board. I mean, so for me, I enjoyed it. It's definitely like a game where, yeah, if you're not crazy about the first player advantages, because like maybe you just want to play one game. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like it's not really leaving you much choice. It's like I guess you won because you were first. Do you know what I mean? So I get that part of it, which kind of is not great, but the overall feeling of the game I like. So
Yeah. Like I like it enough. I wasn't in love with it.
got it. So
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed. So one that I could play at lunch and play with a variety of people. So that's our review for TAC, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
We were off our beat on that one.
I was just gonna leave it. I was just gonna see you next time, and I was just gonna cut it there.
Always wave and say bye.
No, we could always cut that in. I'm also half dead.